So Dominique Malonga is screwed. She's really, really screwed. I'm sorry that I can't be that much more energetic in this video. Obviously it's 12:15 and I'm in a hotel, hence why the videos have been a little bit less frequent. Hopefully, touch wood, I'm at home for the foreseeable, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing a bunch of work in my house. I want to apologize about the inconsistencies, but the Dominique Malonga situation is not looking great for her. And I don't understand how whoever told her that quitting, that literally just quitting, and ripping up a contract was going to end in any way other than the team seeking compensation. You're crazy. You're crazy. So you can see right here, another unlikable WNBA player. I don't think it's. I think it's their agent. It's a misstep by Malonga's agent. 19-year-olds kind of whims for this, whims for that, but a grown-ass veteran agent would have known or should have known. This FIBA WNBA mutual clearance. Like, she's not going to be allowed, if as things stand, she's not going to be allowed playing the WNBA. And there's a possibility that someone's definitely screenshotted what Annie said. But there is a legitimate possibility that on principle, Fenner don't let her buy herself out of the contract. So according to multiple sources, the WNBA has already provided Fenerbahce with its letter of clearance for Malonga. So in order for Malonga to return to play in 2026, a letter of clearance from the Turkish Federation by way of Fenerbahce would be required. If there's an outstanding case between Fenner and Malonga, the letter of clearance could be withheld under condition that she violated terms of her contract. In this case, FIBA will be prompted to look into the case to determine if there was just cause. Seattle Storm directed Front Office Sports to the WNBA when contacted for comment. An email sent to Fenerbahce's listed press contact was unanswered. So basically, she's screwed. I think we can be very honest here. She's screwed. Because there is a non-zero chance that, just simply put, on principle, Fenner hold the power to allow Dominique Malonga play basketball again. And if you guys don't know when it comes to FIBA clearance, like, this is normally when FIBA don't. There have been players banned for life because they owe the club money. And I don't mean like they owe the club what Malonga owes the club. That pro players will sign for teams in a country, not fulfill their contract, rip up their contract, and I don't know, maybe let's just say the team paid them €500 to play that weekend. That was their weekly fee. The team paid them the €500, and the team wanted that €500 back if you ripped up your contract, and they've refused to play. They are literally not allowed to play organized basketball until they pay that €500 back. Like, this is not the Malonga extent, but players being not allowed to play basketball is really common. And Fenerbahce, as a club, not just their basketball team, they're a football club, they're multiple sports, they have multiple men's and women's teams. As a club, Fenerbahce is worth more than any WNBA club by far. By far. This team is bigger than any WNBA team. If we're being honest, they are. So you can see here, what a mess. I stand with Dom. Like, at the end of the day, I hope that something happens. I hope that the new agent, I hope that maybe, like, there's a non-zero chance that Dominique Malonga signs another contract with Fenerbahce. Like, there is actually a possibility for that. I think she could end up playing unrivaled. Look, I don't know if there's gonna be a WNBA season, but like, Dominique Malonga literally can be banned. There's a good chance she gets banned, and that's not good for anyone. #freedom. What do you mean #freedom? At the end of the day, like, you can't just throw away a contract. Her agent's most used lever. Why'd you let her sign a 3-year contract with Fenner? They don't fuck around. 3 years. Every player goes overseas doesn't sign more than 1 year to protect yourself. 1 year protects the team and it protects the player. Realistically, you need the contracts, child play. Like, that's one of the things the Americans don't understand. Like, Fenerbahce have more means than than most WNBA teams. They have more means in the league. And you're now in a situation where, not the Storm fans acting shocks, what you did was unprofessional, and I agree. At the end of the day, look, she's an adult, legally an adult, so she legally has to deal with the consequences. But I mean this, she's a 19-year-old, she's going to listen to whatever people are in her ear saying. And we were all kids at one stage, we all made mistakes at one stage, just unfortunate that all of our mistakes weren't broadcast to the world. So look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. I have nothing against Dominique Malonga. I have absolutely nothing against Dominique Malonga. I think her agent messed up. I think she's in an awful situation. I think that she's now in a situation where, look, she's kind of screwed. She's kind of screwed. Like, just out of spite, Fenerbahce might just not let her play basketball. Genuinely. And there is a world where Fenerbahce make her pay the entire contract. They're going to set an outrageous fee. Someone will pay it, whether it be Project B, whether it be the Storm. Somebody is going to pay her fees. There's going to be, maybe she signs a big deal with a shoe company, and the payment is buying her out of this contract. I think she'll find a way to do it, but it's going to be screw her financially short term. It is going to screw her financially quickly. And yeah, that's just a real interesting one all around. Like, could we see, I mean this when I say this, could we see the Storm? This is something that could actually, could it happen? The Seattle Storm, just the WNBA owners, just on principle, they all come to the agreement that no one's going to claim her off waivers. And the Seattle Storm are going to waive Dominique Malonga. So then when the new CBA comes in, they can give her, instead of $70,000 for a rookie deal, let's just say it's $300,000 vet minimum, they can sign her as a vet minimum for $300,000. And maybe that money can be used to pay off Fener. Like, I don't know. I think it's going to be sorted, but whatever way it is, like, the agent deserves to be named and freaking shamed. Like, they may have screwed over a 19-year-old's career. Like, because what they've done right now is an actual justifiable reason to not let her play basketball. And as someone who's been through the FIBA Pro transfer system of FIBA clearance and everything, and has dealt from a coach's perspective with professional players who play overseas and who are hopping between leagues, who are leaving mid-season, who are coming over mid-season, a lot of the time if a player wants to walk from a contract, there is some form of a payoff, or they've been overpaid because they've walked when they were supposed to have been playing the following week, and teams do look for something. In the case of the leagues that I play in, a lot of the time it's as low as a couple of €100. A player will, I don't know, a pro player on a night out might borrow £100 from their teammate. But if they just walk the next day, the club's not going to give them clearance unless they pay that money back. Like, I've seen players essentially get banned from life over €100 because they've gone on a night out, not borrowed money from their teammate, and the club, and it just vanished, and the club are like, no, we're not signing your transfer form until you pay back the player you stole from. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys.